Hi there, Mrs. Selman here. I have a social story for you today on the topic of handling uncertainty. And it is certainly an uncertain time right now. I think that so many things we don't understand and so many things we don't have answers to, and that can be a little bit unnerving. So I thought this would be a good topic to write a social story on. And at the end, there will be a little assignment as usual. You can write or you can draw, either way. And also, I want to remind you, if you have anything you want to say to me in an email, you could always send me an email. Your mom and dad have my email address, and I will write back to you. Today is Tuesday, April 14th, and I miss you all so much. I really miss you so much. And I know I promised to put my dogs in the video, and of course today I forgot to set that up. So maybe I'll make a second one today. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So here's my social story called Handling Uncertainty. Here's cell number 1. These are uncertain times. And uncertain means we just aren't sure about what comes next, right? This is so different, he thinks. I like my normal routine, he thinks. I know that I like to know where I'm going. And I know that I like to have my schedule so that there are not many surprises. I can be pretty flexible when we have changes. I can. I'm pretty good at that. And a lot of you are pretty good at that too. But this is different, right? This is a big deal. This isn't like having an assembly where your schedule gets changed. This is a big deal compared to that. But we've got this, right? So far, so good. We've got this. Let's look at cell number 2. One thing we do know is this is temporary. So this guy's saying, how long do we have to stay at home? Does anybody know the answer to that? We do know that school is out now for the rest of the school year. We do know that. But we don't really know yet when we can start moving around and going to stores or visiting our friends or our family. We don't really know that yet. The other thing he says is, when will I go to school again? Well, we do know that. We do know that in September, we'll be back to normal. We'll see each other. Thankfully, right? Let's look at cell number 3. No one knows all of the answers. Nobody does. I don't know. The principals don't know. Moms and dads don't know. No one knows all the answers. We all have to use our skills to stay flexible with this temporary, uncertain time. We can do it. It is temporary. I'm going to keep saying that. It's a long time, but it's temporary. It's not forever, so we can do it. So here's what the guy says. Here's his advice. I'll be patient. I'll talk to my parents when I feel frustrated. I'll remind myself, this is temporary. I'll do my schoolwork. That helps the time go by. And I'll get exercise. That helps us mind and body, right? Exercise is so good. Okay, I'm going to ask you to pause, and I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer out loud to yourself or to whoever's right with you right now. So here's your question. What are some things you tell yourself, either in a thought bubble or out loud, to be okay? I know, self-talk. Self-talk's my favorite. I can almost hear your responses. One of the things I like to say is, you got this, Mrs. Selman. Sometimes I say it out loud even. I know I talk about keeping our thoughts in our own heads most of the time when we're using self-talk and cheering ourselves. But in this situation, it's really okay. If Mr. Selman hears me in the other room saying, you've got this, Mrs. Selman, you can do it, he just laughs. So it's okay. The other thing I want to tell you is I'm getting a little more exercise than I have when I was coming to work every day and seeing you in schools. I walk the dogs a lot and I'm riding my bike. I haven't ridden my bike in so long, and now I'm riding it all around my neighborhood. Let's look at cell number 4. All of us are doing our very best. It's uncomfortable not to know what comes next, but we can be uncomfortable and still be okay at the same time. So the kids say, "This is weird, but I'm okay." And the one in the middle says, "I've got this." And the one on the end says, "I don't like this, but I'm okay." So you know how in social skills we talk about sometimes having big feelings like sadness or even boredom or worry and being okay at the same time? Because we're supposed to have all of those feelings. All of those feelings are normal depending on what our situation is. And this situation is a little bit crazy, right? It's a little bit crazy. And not knowing what comes next can be stressful. We can be stressed or be worried and be okay at the same time, as long as we're taking good care of ourselves. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to draw a picture of yourself, and I want you to write the things that you're wondering about. It could be, when do I get to go see my family? Or when do I get to have a play date? Or when can I have a sleepover? Or when can I go to Target? Let them be your ideas. You could use some of mine, but let them be your ideas. I want you to tell me, what are the things you're uncertain about? And then part 2, this is the most important part, the being okay with uncertainty. So we don't know the answers to everything, right? And we can be okay with that. But how are you being okay with it? Tell me what you're doing in the meantime. So for me, it's making sure I exercise, talking a lot to Mr. Silman, to my mom, to my friends. I like to get on FaceTime and see my son's face. He lives in Denver, so I call him and I see his face in Denver. Those are mine. What are your ways to be okay while you're uncertain or uncomfortable? Okay, so I miss you very much. Don't forget, you could email me anytime you want to. I will email you back. And have your mom or dad take a picture of your assignment and email it to me that way. It makes it easiest for me to save it. What else? Take very good care of yourselves and of each other. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to your family that you're with. Be gentle with your family. Okay. Bye, kids.